welcome, Muraka Zanesa, and herzlich willkommen to our podcast Reduce, Reuse, Rethink, Sustainability in Rwanda and Germany, where we talk about challenges and solutions of sustainable cities and communities, intercultural exchange, and other interesting things.
Hello, my name is Greta, and today we will dive into the thrilling episode spotlighting the extraordinary partnership between Rwanda and Rhineland-Palatinate. We are very delighted to welcome two distinguished guests, Christina Berthold, the director of the Jumelage office in Mainz, and Sandrine Kamalisa, the coordinator of the Jumelage office in Kigali. Together, we will dive into the vibrant world of partnerships between Global South and Global North. We will get to know the incredible work of the Jumelage and uncover the variety of initiatives, tracing their captivation evolution, revealing what makes this alliance truly unique, and exploring how Rwanda's tragic genocide has influenced this remarkable cooperation. So let's get started. Hello, Christina. Would you like to introduce yourself, about your personal background, and how did you came to the Jumelage office?
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm very happy to be part of it. And also I was happy that the whole Teams Up exchange worked out and that Ejo-connect Rwanda and Germany got to meet each other within this very interesting project. Yeah, my name is Christina Berthold. I am, as you mentioned before, the director of the Jumelage with the office here in Mainz in Rwanda and Palatinate. My background is I studied development cooperation and I've been working with a German organization before. And was somehow connected to Rwanda already a couple of years ago when I went to visit the country first in 2014 as a tourist. And I also learned about the jumelage between Rwanda and Palatinate and Rwanda back in those days. And for me, studying development cooperation, studying to work in this field, I always thought this is actually the way it should be, the way cooperation between countries or regions should work. Because jumelage has this very unique and interesting approach of bringing people together of specific fields and bringing them to share experiences, to share projects with each other and learn with and from each other. And for me, this was always a very good way to go on it. And then I was lucky enough to get involved further in Jumelage and eventually I started here as a director.
Thank you very much. That's quite interesting how everything started. Now we're really interested in a partnership. So how did this partnership evolve and why exactly Rwanda and Germany, or why these two states were chosen for the partnership? And are there also similar partnerships of German states and African countries?
Yeah, in the 1980s, there was the approach of the German government that they wanted to start partnerships between German federal states and countries in Africa. The idea was, of course, if you think of the time, it was post-colonial times. The idea was to start a new approach of working together between Germany and Africa. So the idea came upon to start partnerships like this. And actually all of the federal countries of Germany, they tried to find a partner in Africa, a partnering country. And so also Rhineland-Palatinate looked within the African continent to find a partner. And they chose Rwanda back in the days because of couple of reasons. One of the reasons was the size. So the size of Rwanda is almost the same like Rhineland-Palatinate. Okay, we have to attach the Saarland as well. Then the size of the two countries are almost comparable. Also back in the days, the size of population was almost the same. So in 1982, when the partnership was formed, both countries had approximately 4 million people living in Rhineland-Palatinate and in Rwanda. Now, it changed a lot. So in Rhineland-Palatinate, it's almost the same, but in Rwanda, we now have more than 12 million people living there. But back in the days, the population was quite similar. And the third reason was that Rwanda and Palatinate was always really francophone due to the closeness to France, and many people could speak French. And Rwanda was also French-speaking. So therefore, they also wanted to find a partnering country sharing the same language and also sharing mostly the same religion. So Rwanda back in the days was also already mostly a Christian country, and therefore these were the reasons why it was chosen to partner Rwanda with Rwanda and Palatinate. And as mentioned before, it was also the aim for the other federal countries of Germany. So Baden-Württemberg, for example, they have a partnership with Burundi. They celebrated 40 years this year. Or Nordrhein-Westfalen, they started a partnership with Ghana. But somehow, due to, I'm sure, many different reasons, Rwanda and Palatinate and Rwanda, kind of hit it off together, and it worked really well. And the partnership grew and flourished in the past 42 years now, and still keeps growing.
That's very interesting to hear about the special partnership between Rwanda and Palatinate. Since the partnership is now 42 years old and a genocide in Rwanda took place at 1994, how did the genocide in Rwanda also influence the partnership?
Yeah, the genocide was, of course, a very difficult time for Rwanda, and also for the partnership. It was a difficult time because people were very much involved before with Rwandan partners. And of course, there was the big question, and what can we do now? And actually, back in the days, a representative of Rwanda and Palatinate, Mr. Walter Zuba, he was one of the first international people going back to Rwanda after genocide I think in September or October, so only very recent after the genocide happened. He went to Rwanda to visit the partner country to see for himself what happened there. And he returned, and he had a very passionate speech in the parliament of Rwanda and Palatinate, motivating everyone to sticking to this partnership, to supporting the partners, especially in this difficult time, because it's a partnership through good and bad. And he said the things he saw during his travels there were unimaginable, and now is the time to stand up and to support and to be with the partners. And no one knew how the people in Rwanda and Palatinate would react, because the association was always, and the partnership, based on the civil society. And it was very good to see, and I think it's still also part of this very strong base of the partnership, that the civil society in Rwanda and Palatinate stood up and wanted to continue the support, and not only continue, but they said, especially now we have to help. And not only was there the continuing of the support, but also many new partnerships were funded after the genocide, because many people heard about it in the news and they wanted to become active, to act. And we have many partners nowadays that funded their partnerships in 1994 or just the years after, because after genocide they wanted to support within the partnership. So it was a very difficult time, but I think looking back, it was also a time where the partnership grew even stronger.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear that the partnership also grew and is still so important for both countries, benefiting both countries in such a way. Now it's also interesting to hear about the Jumelage office, about your work. Can you give us a brief overview of the work at the Jumelage?
Yeah, I always try to explain the work of Jumelage as a big bouquet of flowers, because we have so many different topics and partners and things we do within Jumelage. It's very difficult to narrow it down on a few points. But what we do is with our office in Mainz in Germany and our office in Kigali in Rwanda, we try to link partners from both countries, or from Rwanda and Palatinate, and bring them together within their own goals. So, for example, we have more than 200 school partnerships, so schools that are actively working with each other, talking with each other, are in exchange, are visiting each other. Every year we have a couple of school classes visiting their partners in Rwanda and Palatinate or in Rwanda. Or we also have towns and districts that are partnered with each other, or we have young people, students, apprentices who come to Rwanda and Palatinate to study here, but also the other way around. We have students that spend some time in Rwanda at the university, for example. So, there are many, many different topics. And for me, it's always amazing when I finish my work in the evening and I log out of my computer and then I try to think what all happened within one day. It's very interesting to see that from someone who wants to donate 20 euros for someone in Rwanda to support maybe with their school fees, from projects that are in the volume of a couple of 10,000 euros that will then be continued, or from school partnerships to now partnerships also, for example, in the biomedical sector. Everything is involved in Jumelage, from very, very small to quite large. And for me, it's very interesting to see this within an organization that is, compared to other international organizations, very small and is working very people-based. So it always, the focus is on bringing people together and then supporting their ideas. And this is what we're trying to do.
Yes, it's really amazing to see how this partnership benefits both sides, and a lot of people can get into exchange to one another, change perspectives, and experience new countries and new traditions also. The last question we have is, where do you see the partnership in 10 years?
So for me, when I started the job, I took over the position from Michael Nieden, who retired after many years of working for Jumelage. And then there was always the discussion about we have to have a younger partnership and we have to bring young people within the Jumelage. So this is why maybe they also choose me, because when I started, I was half the age of my predecessor. So maybe it was also the idea to start here with a bit of a younger staff, but also in Rwanda, in our coordination office, we have many young people who started working with us in the most recent years. And the discussions in the past years was always we have to renew or bring younger people into the association to sustain and to continue our work in the future. And we have to be careful that now many people who have been involved with Jumelage are getting older or can't contribute as much anymore. And I really have to say, after the recent years I worked for Jumelage, I'm really not afraid of our future as Jumelage, because there are so many people coming into the association every year, so many new people who are interested in working within this partnership, who agree with our approach, who want to be part of it. And of course, topics change and ways of partnerships change maybe, but I'm very positive because I see so much enthusiasm, so much engagement, and so much energy and interest and positive energy going towards our association in Rwanda and in Germany. So I'm looking very positive into the future.
Thank you very much. I think that's a very good ending, very positive one, and we're really glad to have you here and to work at the Jumelage. As Ejo-connect, we really appreciate the work of you, and also from Engagement Global and BMZ. And we're really happy about this partnership and to benefit from it. So thank you very much. Vielen Dank and Murakoze Chane.
Thank you very much, Murakoze, and also thank you, Ejo-connect, for your important and cool work you do within Jumelage in Rwanda and in Rwanda and Palatinate. And you're also a reason why I have a very positive outview, because the young people are very much involved and creative and up to the task for a good future for our Jumelage. So Murakoze Chane.
I am Cardin, and today we have the honor to talk to Sandrine Kamariza, the coordinator at Jumelage office. Hello, Sandrine.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Sandrine Kamariza, as you just said. I am Rwandan, and I work in Jumelage as national coordinator.
Okay, so we wanted to know, how did you come to Jumelage?
Thank you. I came to Jumelage in May 2018. There were a position that was advertised, and I applied for that position. We were two, and I am the one who got the position in May 2018, and it was different from the position I have today. So in May 2018, I started working in Jumelage, and in March 2020, that's when I became national coordinator.
So can you give us a brief overview of the work at the Jumelage office and mostly how most of your projects align with the SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, our work in Jumelage is mainly to connect two people, two communities, one community or the communities in Rwanda and the communities in Rhineland-Palatinate. So we connect them by emails, by visits, by exchange. The communities are divided in schools, in associations, in cooperatives, in parishes, and more groups. So they talk together, we arrange the mediation, we connect them by showing them what they can do together. If it's projects, if it's sharing experience, sharing culture, and so on. That's what we do mainly here in Jumelage, because there is a partnership established between the state of Rhineland-Palatinate and the country of Rwanda since 1982. So over the past 40 years, that's what we have been doing. And again, what I would say that we contribute on the SDG 11 Sustainable Development, I would say that it's where our work evolves from. So in the projects, as I just said, the projects are directed to development, empowerment. When we build schools, when we build dormitories, when we build dining halls, when we build storage, workshops in schools, those infrastructures are mainly to advance the development of the communities. But not only the development of the communities in Rwanda, because the share of expertise, of experience, of knowledge, of technical skills is also something that Jumelage stands on. If a Rwandan partner will talk to a partner from Rhineland-Palatinate and they exchange on, for example, two teachers, they will teach one another on their work. And this is where sustainable development also comes in, so that people don't stay just in their own perspective, but they also learn their work from the perspective of the other side. So I would say, in my opinion, that now that I think about it, that the work of Jumelage evolves around that SDG.
Okay, so how do you see the partnership between Rwanda and Rhineland-Palatinate benefiting both parties?
That's a good question. There is a general perspective or general understanding mindset, thinking that the receiving end is the only one benefiting, that Rwanda is the only one benefiting from the partnership. But I would say that even the communities in Rhineland-Palatinate are benefiting. Why? Because if students from Rhineland-Palatinate leave Rhineland-Palatinate, come and learn another way of life, another lifestyle in Rwanda, they also learn. If there is a concept we can present from Rwanda to Rhineland-Palatinate, for example, let me talk about the umuganda. Umuganda is a way where citizens take part in cleaning the city themselves without waiting on the cleaners from the city hall, from the town hall. This is something that I would say we can present to the citizens of Rhineland-Palatinate, where they also take part in cleaning their own city. If Rwanda or Kigali is called the cleanless city in Africa and all over the world, I think it's also something that Rhineland-Palatinate can learn from. And also, if you look at how the students live in boarding schools, how they do in their studies, this is something I have noticed that also students from Rhineland-Palatinate can learn. So it's not just Rwanda benefiting, but also Rhineland-Palatinate is benefiting because they also learn another way of life.
Okay, so the last question is, where do you see the partnership in 10 years?
Wow. Where do I see the partnership in 10 years? I think if I look at the pace the partnership has taken in previous years, 40 years, I would say that it's time for the partnership to change or to modify or to adjust the concept now. Before, it was just people to people, schools to schools, and parishes to parishes. But I think it's now time that even startups, businesses can be involved in the partnership. If we have startups here in Rwanda, how about if we get more businesses in Rwanda and Palatinate? They learn from each other, they teach each other, they share their expertise. Yes, parishes, it's good, but now the world has evolved. If you visit Rwanda and Palatinate, the parishes don't have many people now, or they have old people, which means that the young people should be engaged. Can you imagine someone who has been in the partnership for 40 years? They are now in their 80s, 70s, 90s. We need to engage businesses, young people. This is where I see that the partnership can also be strong. And this is where I see it, because I have seen that now we have students who come here with their schools, visiting their partner schools, and they also get interested and they can join Ejo-connect, our dear network, our young network of the partnership. I see Ejo-connect really engaged, and I hope it will be so in the next 10 years.
I hope so too. So thank you very much for your time, and we're very impressed about your work and wish you and the partnership all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, all of you, for sharing your valuable insights on our podcast today. And a heartfelt thank you to all our listeners for joining us and investing your time with us. If you found today's episode insightful, don't hesitate to share it with your friends and spread the knowledge. And now stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll delve into our last concluding episode, where we reflect on the transformative journey of our project visit to Rwanda and Germany. Join us as we look back on the rich tapestry of experiences, insights, and connections forged throughout this remarkable adventure. Through heartfelt interviews and personal anecdotes, we'll capture the essence of our journey, honoring the individuals and communities who welcomed us with open arms and shared their stories with us. Together, we'll explore the profound impact of our exchange, from fostering mutual understanding and friendship to inspiring, meaningful collaborations and initiatives. Until then, take care, auf Wiedersehen, Murabeho, and we are looking forward to having you with us again soon.